Okay, so we're in game and we're gonna walk over here and have a look at our little camp. So there are 4 NPCs, and we can see that Kana is kind of standing guard here. Jera, she's not moving around either, so she's kind of seemingly standing guard. And we've got Duncan and Dario who are wandering around the campsite. So we'll stand by and watch them for a few minutes. We'll notice Dario. He'll actually come over every now and then, along with Duncan. Will come over and interact with Jera. They'll do some animations and whatnot. Kana, however, she won't be interacted with. They won't come over and talk to her, and she won't turn to talk to them or anything. If Jera needs to turn and talk to one of these guys, she will. But Kana won't behave that way. And they'll just kind of mill about, do their little animations, find for a little campsite. So this is just an example of the basics. We're just getting started with the foundations of what we can do. We'll notice that these guys just will not leave this campsite, but we're going to make some changes to make them do that a little bit more. So as we can see, Jera has turned, facing a different direction. Kana will not do that. So that's the primary difference between guarding and immobile. Is they're a little bit more ambient than the guards. So as you can see, these guys will mill about. They haven't left the camp area yet. They won't come over here to the bridge or anything like that. And that's exactly what we want them to do. So next thing we're going to do is demonstrate how we can get these two guys to mill about a little bit more and put a little bit more control on how that works. So we're going to go back into the tool set and demonstrate that, and we'll see you in there. Okay, we're back in the tool set, and we've got our module loaded up here again. So we can see there's our 4 NPCs again, and what we're going to do this time around is we're going to change the behavior of Dario and Duncan here a little bit. Because the AI plugin works on blueprints, not the actual instances of NPCs, we're going to get rid of these two guys and bring up their blueprints. So I'm going to select Dario's blueprint from the blueprints list and fire up the AI plugin. What we're going to change with this one is we're actually going to change his roam range to 35 from 5 and leave everything else the same. So what we've done is we've basically said, you know what, Dario, you are allowed to wander a little bit further away from the camp. So Dario could potentially, wander over here or stay around here a little bit. He could wander over this way, probably wander over here, but he's not, his wanderings are going to be very, very random, where he's not going to want to go in any one particular direction. His desire to move in any one particular direction is not going to be there. He's just going to mill about just like he was before, only he's going to be able to mill about a little bit further away. His leash is a little bit bigger. So we're going to do something similar to Duncan. We're going to select his blueprint and fire up the AI plugin. And we're going to change his range to 35 as well. However, we're going to change his roam behavior to be mobile with stops. Okay. The other one was mobile. Dario is mobile without stops. Duncan is going to be mobile with stops, and I'm going to explain the difference now in a second. We're going to place Duncan down right here. So they're virtually identical. The idea is Duncan will wander around just like Dario will, and if I don't do anything else, they will actually behave the exact same way. However, because Duncan has set to with stops, he is going to have a desire to roam randomly, but more often to particular places. So I'm going to bring over my blueprints and select waypoints, and under Legends AI, there is a stop waypoint, this one right here. So I'm going to lay a couple of these down. I'm going to lay one right here in the camp. I'm going to lay one over here by the bridge, like so. Put that back over there. Alright, so now I've got these two waypoints, these two black stop waypoints. So what this means is that Duncan, because he's set to mobile with stops, he is still going to be random, but he's going to be random and have a little bit of a desire to go to these two waypoints. So unlike Addario, who's going to wander aimlessly, Duncan is going to wander aimlessly as well, but oftentimes he's going to actually choose to go to one of these locations. So he's going to wander around, and then all of a sudden he's going to say, you know what, I think I want to go over here, and he'll actually have a desire to go there. He may change his mind halfway over and stop, you know, this right here and go another direction, but his drive will be more to tend toward to going to these two locations. If he's over here, he may want to come back here, but it's not, you can't think of it as a patrol route. It's not a patrol route. It's he's still going to randomly go to different places. I can put you know, a third one of these over here, and it's still fairly random, but he'll just lean more towards going to these locations, whereas Addario will be completely random. So let's go back in game and fire that up and see how that behaves. Okay, so we're back in game, and we're going to go over here and take a look. So we can see there's Duncan and Addario. They're kind of just, whoops, there we go. A little bit of lag there from good old Fraps. As I was saying, we can see Duncan and Addario. Now, even though Addario's roam range is set to 35, you know, he's still gonna, you know, wander aimlessly and randomly. However, we can see Duncan. He's actually choosing to go, you know, a little bit further. He's making an effort to try and make it to those spawn points, but you know, it's not a guaranteed thing. He may go to that one. If I had one kind of like where I'm standing, he may choose to come here. He may choose to go to the camp. It's kind of up to him where he wants to go. Again, you'll see, you know, Jera as before, she'll be turning and interacting with the other NPCs, but you can see how a with stops versus a without stops with the same kind of range, you know, will behave. They're still fairly random, but they just Duncan has a little bit more desire to go to different locations. So you can think of you know, a busy marketplace in a larger town or whatever. You can have 5 or 6 of these stop type waypoints and configure some NPCs to use it, and you know, they'll go to various, you know, stalls and booths or whatever in a marketplace, and you know, still kind of wander around the town, but you know, have a desire to actually go and stand at various stalls. And then of course, if you have a few Jera type NPCs at those stalls, you know, the guys who come along and stop will potentially interact with them and, you know, wave and chat and things like that, and then move on to another type stall. So you can see Duncan's behavior is a little bit different from Addario's. Addario may even come out of the camp. Looks like he may be coming out of the camp here a little bit more. And that's how that works. So we're going to move on to the next step, go back into the tool set, and demonstrate a little bit more of the features. So we'll see you back there in the tool set.